So this variation is basically looks like this. The pawn structure is made to control some important squares and to develop the bishops on double fianchetto, and then to bring king to safety. Queen c1 looks weird, and this variation is generally weak, but it's specifically designed to play on bullet, so 1 minute games. And if one can master it, it's quite effective. I have rating about 2500 on lichess, and without it I can reach 2200. I managed to reach 2600 only playing Rooster variation on bullet, but I couldn't keep it, maintain it for a long time, a few days probably, and then my rating dropped to 2500. I can maintain the rating between 2460 to 2520. This range pretty easily, I would say. On longer pace, it's not as effective. I can probably maintain my rating at about 2200, 2300 on 3-minute games, and maybe 2200, maybe even less, maybe 2000 on longer games, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes probably also. But the more time the opponent has, the easier it gets to crush my system. So it's specifically designed and should be used only on bullets. Then I want to comment on my study a little. So I created a study of 46 example games, and I want to comment it a little bit. So here, for example, the black closes the center, and now we have so like f4 also. Black can also take. I believe that there is another variation in other games, and we'll get into it in another video probably. I'm also streaming those lessons on Twitch. So yeah, so this is the principal idea. Sometimes if black plays bishop e6 and then queen d7, then white simply cannot play knight h3 immediately, so it has to follow knight f2. But in most of the games I can play knight h3, knight f2 instead of knight df2. And it's also better to play knight h f2 as opposed to knight df2, as knight doesn't feel good on the edge of the board. Knights in general don't feel good on flank, so the knight approaches moves closer to the center. controlling d3, controlling e4, putting pressure on d4, on e4, and preparing thematic, and d2, d3. The d4 is one of the options. I probably wouldn't recommend it. I don't think it's the best idea here. Probably black should just continue with his development. Like bishop e6, rook c8 maybe, b5, c4, and then because like queen c1 is in a very bad spot, so. And getting advantage of the fact from the fact that queen c1 is misplaced. It's tends to be better in this structure. So theoretically the system is obviously horrible. It's probably like minus 1.4 at this point, so white is theoretically completely lost here, but not many players up until 2700 can consistently prove it. Like the players above 2600, I can feel that they are fast enough and they understand the position very well. But then the real breakthrough happens at 2700. The play strength that they can demonstrate is simply blowing my mind. But like up until 2600, there's nothing impressive in the game that they play. So d4, I don't like. It's also worth noting that I don't take on e4 as it opens e-file. It's not recommended in most cases. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous to take, like either with knight or with bishop. It might be like sometimes it's engine correct, but it's the black gets an initiative and it's still not improving white's position that much. Black has a very good compensation. It's like after taking on e4, it might be
minus 0.3 instead of minus 1.2.
So like practically speaking, it's bullet chess. So it's not only about the theoretical or the right through evaluation of the position. It's more about the timing strategy and how you trick the other your opponent to win the game. Yeah, but now I take, and it's over soon. Also, like, look at the bishop. It's the fianchetto is in many cases in general dangerous for the opponent. Yeah. So we also, let me demonstrate, because this video also goes for YouTube. So let me demonstrate also how to play it. like in the bullet chess. So there are a lot of pre-moves. I can pre-move most of the moves in the initial phase of the game. And then I play f5. I'm not worried that much about the h5 because white has already castled short, so it's not that dangerous for me as opposed to if there was an open file and like the rook was already still there, it would be more risky for me. Let me play maybe a6. I'm probably in slight trouble. Oh, yeah. Okay. So as you can see, it's more about how to trick the opponent than how to play the best moves all the time. White is in great danger right now. It's very hard to play. So okay, he left. It's not fair. It's not fair play to leave position. He should have resigned. Yeah, but we got a win. Rook f6 is also kind of a thematic move here, because it's quite hard to tackle this problem, how to attack the rook, especially if one has only 30 seconds on the clock. So it's obviously like this spin is very uncomfortable for black, but I got used to like playing this kind of position thousands of times, so it's not a big problem for me to come up with good moves. And for the opponent, the stranger the position gets, the better. So the better for me, because it's so hard to play for them. And then I can take advantage of it.
Yeah, that should be right away.
That's how I say it. Okay, alright. C4. English opening, but it's not really an English opening. This is like kind of a Zamish line. And black has to bring the 98 to support the knight g8 development.
Fast.
And obviously, like this is the contrast to the game that I was just playing. Rook is on h1, so this the opening of the h file is much more dangerous for black. So we got h5, and if I have a chance, I play g5, but it's not. We don't always get a chance to block the position playing g5. Sometimes when a knight already stands on f3, that there's this f4, not f4 but e5, like white can play nasty e5 and crush black's position as if it wasn't collapsing already. It's obviously like losing for black right now. Like this is like 2+2 probably. Yeah, pretty much Zemish right now, and like look at this knight. It cannot even move. Like this bishop is also closed here, and it looks over, but black can still play knight f7, c6, queen c7, and castle long, which saves the game like much more often than I would expect it actually. Like I got surprised by how many times I can actually rescue the game, and this is pretty standard in this position. Knight f5 and now e5. Like e5 closes the position. I don't know. So bishop h3 is a very strong threat. This idea is actually quite nice from white. I really like it. Bishop h3. I can retreat. I could play f5. Like it looks horrible. Like both of them looks horrible, honestly. But I don't really want to play f5 because it creates weaknesses on g5. There are sacrifices on g5 sometimes. We don't really want to push with f5 on the king side, where we're already much weaker, and there are potential sacrifices on g5. And moving on, like later on, with h5, h pawn, really scary. Yeah, it's a word. Yeah, I will add it to the dictionary. Seriously is the word. Vociferously marching forward toward the vulnerable black king. And okay, f4, like opening up the position, and it's blowing up. It's blowing up the position, but yeah, like then fg and sacrifice on g5 is the theme here. But then like black has knight f7, defending the g5 square, and it's really hard to break through as white actually, and like probably white is down on the clock. So white, like black has some ideas of b5, of sacrifice of the pawn. Like this is also pretty thematic in Rooster's system, to sacrifice the b pawn and open up the b file. Even if it's not correct, it's just good from the strategy standpoint. Yeah, this is pretty dramatic. So it's a good practical chance in general. Should be a6. Probably there is no c6. Like black cannot really. f5. f5. Like f5 is also like a. It's more precious than black. f1. So here we go, and white blunders. And that's where the roosters speaks for itself. And now black should be winning here. Yeah, -4. Yeah, it's like this move is bad. I mean, I shouldn't. I probably shouldn't take on f4. It's not a huge mistake though. But yeah, opening the line for the rook. It's still winning. Yeah. Yeah, but now I am down on the clock. And that's why the game ends in a draw. Yeah, I got lucky at the end, of course. Like I should have been mated. Yeah, let's end it here though. Then we have sacrifices on g5. Let's take a look from should be from the other position. Okay, from the other perspective. f5 strong move. Let's delete actually the variation from here. Can I delete 2 here? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, F5 very strong move, like white cannot... white threatens to attack on G6, and F5 F5 also opens. And that is put in a very tough spot. So G5 and knight takes G5, it's probably not correct, but oh, actually it's very correct. It's brilliant. Okay, so what? Black has no choice, and now, oh, actually, this is a wrong continuation. So F6 here. F6 is winning on the spot. So like if knight takes F6 and E5 and oh, and then just queen H5. In case of knight D5, it's mate in 2. Yeah, so black has no choice. He has to castle short. Then it takes F6. Rook takes, he takes. Oh, and this is crushing. This is complete crush. There's nothing to hold on here. Like this is one of the variations where black cannot, or Rooster's system cannot hold the pressure. I mean, this is like theoretically so clear. It's such a clean line, and the engine. When I play with Stockfish 8, for example, or Stockfish like I think there's a Stockfish 7, or even like Stockfish 8 can win with me in let's try it out. In like 20 moves it's over. Play with computer at 8. Maybe not unlimited, but yeah, whatever. So I don't wanna wait too much time for its moves. Okay, so A4, it's A5, A4. That's not what I expected. And yeah, like look, yeah, like this is crushing me. Like because now A3 is a threat, and what can I do about it? Like I have to take on your A4, of course. And like this is just crushing. And then like there's this also the take on D3, like knight before D3, bishop takes D3, CD, knight takes B4 with the 4, and so I have to play A3 pretty much. I cannot play knight h2, knight h3. And now what follows? Knight c4 or d3? Knight c4, castle, take on b2. And e3. e3 is too weak. I cannot hold it. So rook e1, bishop f1. Getting the knight away if I can. And knight e2. Okay, going back. I'm defending the f3 pawn. f4 closing. As I already said, like this is the best approach in most situations. Knight f3 is brutal. Like this is brutal. Because now if I opens for black, and it's pretty much over. You can try king f2, knight g4, king f3, knight h2, king g2, knight g4, and okay, this is brutal. And rook e6 or rook a6. It's great. And I cannot defend. Like this is losing for me. This is amazing. e4, take. f5, no, I cannot play f5. You see, this is the computer chess, but it's amazing. h4 maybe. Yeah, queen g2. It's brutal, like cutting me off, and now rook g6 is even more dangerous. Now and then f5. It's my best bet. Yeah. And now queen h3 or queen f4. Yeah, that's really great. Like engine. And yeah, like this is just brutal. Black pieces are so well coordinated. Yeah, most of the time actually like bishop e5 is not that scary. There are some variations though where like early on there is 95 coming and there is some mate on 90 on queen d7. and like Rooster cannot defend it. But yeah, most of the time it's not scary. So yeah, I think I lose this game. Yeah, I lose this game. Okay. So let's just delete all the other moves that don't really tell a lot. And white one easily, smoothly. Yeah, like normally the tag is not that yeah, the tag on the 5 though, yeah. Like if we can tag on the 5 is okay. But obviously if d5 is well defended, then taking e takes d5 is not as graceful. So let's go on. This is already equally what the black equalizes. And this is winning, okay. I think nothing to comment much about it. Yeah, exchanging of the bishop is sometimes a very good idea. F5, squeezing the position, squeezing the black's position. Um, it's unclear, but yeah. White should win here. Like 4 seconds down, down. 4 seconds. Hi F as SZGN, how are you? Thank you, I'm good also. So let's go to another game here in my study. Yeah, so like Bishop G4, I was talking to one of the top players in the world once about this system, and he told me that like there is this variation of Bishop G4. I never really heard about it. Like didn't really study hard the Larsen's opening, like B3, Bishop B2, but like they knew that basically the top players, like he was top 12 at some point. Like basically they know pretty much every opening in the world. So they told me that there is this Bishop G4, and that's why like F3 comes as such a surprise. Like beforehand, I was playing Roosters. Um, you're trying to get from 1200 elo to 1500. Do I have any suggestions? It depends um, on your weaknesses right now. What's your biggest weakness? How often do you lose because of blunders? Do you blunder a lot? Do you practice tactics a lot, or is strategy more important for you? Maybe some openings, maybe end games. It's really hard to say what takes you from 1200 to 1500. I would have to look through your games, and then there are many books that we can go. Like I teach chess sometimes, like when I have somebody that I teach, then we go through a book, and then I'm trying to improve with my student. So I play Rooster's opening. This is the system that I invented, and I always play the same uh, the same position. So pretty much this one, I always bring the position to this shape, and then I try to survive, and I'm pretty successful on bullet chess, like only 1 minute. If the time control is more than 1 minute, then I'm not successful. I only maintain a decent rating on higher paces, longer paces, but 1 minute, like actually the system on 1 minute proves to be effective if practiced for a very long time. I had to practice for more than a year to be able to get to like 2500, like 20. I think like after a year I got to 2300 on bullet chess, but like playing normal openings like d4 was my principal opening, and King's Indian as black. I think I could reach maybe 21, 2200, and then a Rooster system that I invented, I got to 2300, and now I maintain 2500 on leeches. I reached 2600 once, like I think a month ago, and I could keep it for a few days, but then I lost it. So yeah. So this is analysis of the system, and yeah. For maybe I will comment for others if they come here. Yeah, so um, taking on it on f3. Uh, I don't really like it. It's maybe it's is a matter of taste. Sometimes white can win back the spawn, but they give up e5 in exchange most of the time. It backfires, so I don't take it on f3 very often. Taking on g7, like I said, it's a pawn, but it also opens the g file. It frees the b2 also for the queen. But most of the time it's also risky. It gives the opponent attacking chances along the g file and so on. H file, like bishop f6. Sometimes like it's okay to block to try to block the H pawn. Yeah, but now like queen b2, take, and just white just blunders the bishop, so there's no way, and like white wins. So it's not always recommended. Exchanging the queen is a good choice for white, as the pieces are badly coordinated. This is one thing. And the end game, it's also easier to squeeze using time advantage, and also psychological advantage, because if you play such a system to anybody, they assume you're a weak player, so they want to crush you, and they want to crush you as fast as possible. Like if you play Rooster's system and you survive until the end game, it creates psychological pressure on the opponent to win, and they are more likely to blunder in the end game than to blunder earlier on, actually. So this is one thing that like the opponents have to watch out for this psychological trick, and not to tilt. It's very easy to tilt when somebody plays this system, and you cannot crush them. Like you cannot just play like the engine. And like I also know that it's -2, but yeah, how to can you prove it? Like, can you prove it? Is an entirely different question. So yeah, not letting here on c2, not letting the fork, not letting the knights fork the rooks. And then like it allows rook e8, but then e2. Yeah, like white should be strategically better in this end game, as they have minority on the king side, and the pawns on the queen side. White can, like, without the bishops, like the pawn endgame should be winnable for white, because white can play a4 and stop the pawns on the queen side, and then create a post pawn on the king side, and white should win this way. Because of the light squared bishops, this endgame might be even slightly better for black, and also the open d file and controlled by black is also a pro for black. So yeah, so this set game should be better for black, but there is some long-term pro for white as well in this position. Mm. I'm pretty sure it's a ward. And at the same time, white can create a postpone on the king side. So yeah. And G5 not. Yeah, now H4, right? Yeah. Yeah, so it led to a pawn endgame and white won it. This should be winning by black, but yeah, because of H3. Bishop B1. It's obviously a blunder. I mean, why? Black could squeeze it anyway. Yeah, I don't think knight c5 was a good option. Maybe 6 better, right? There we go. Oh, actually, queen b2. But queen b2 is a mistake, okay. So what was the move? Oh, bishop takes c6? And queen a3. Oh. Now it's an equal position. Oh, d5, yeah. D5 was much better. Just equal, I wouldn't say there's any edge for white. D2 is a weakness. On the other hand, like D3 is quite easy to play. And white fights for the center. White has a good control of over the center. Yeah, yeah. Well, both sides have advantages, so it should be around equal. Yeah, F5 attack. We already see. We have already seen it. Yeah, like black. Many times black plays this idea b5, a6, b5, c4 to lock the bishop out and to win a piece. And what's winning? I think no, no. Yeah, white is winning. Yeah, where? I didn't see. Okay, I didn't see the fork. And white wins exchange. So what was the move? Yeah, it is unclear. Okay, this is winning. Yeah, like Rooster player has to watch out for this fault. Yeah, without being an exchange down, it's pretty hopeless.